Welcome back. It is 6 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. I'm Rena Sargentopoulos alongside Alicia Lewis, and I'm having my brain and my mouth.
You're having a morning.
They're not getting along.
You're doing great.
I was wondering if I needed one of those comical airplane movie slaps in the face, like, get it together, woman, you know? Like, yeah. Maybe that's the sound effect. That's going to help. I don't know.
Oh, I was doing my best, the Three Stooges. I
Oh,
don't know.
yes. Where you, the whole thing. Yeah,
Okay, I don't know. Let's get out to Guy. He's got real work to do. It's snowing.
It might be one of those days. I feel like I'm having that same type of day. But you know what? That same kind of day. Look at that. See? Proof. But give grace, right? Give grace. All right, right now you got temperatures here in the 20s, low 20s, winds out of the southwest, west-southwest, 3 miles per hour. We have snow showers to talk about. Already seeing the snow here in the Carroll 11 yard, especially off to the north and east too, like Duluth, finding some more widespread snow. Some spots you have that snow coming down heavier in others. But for now, just mainly light. I've been out here all morning and things have been light and steady. Snow showers will continue to move in by lunchtime. More widespread temperatures make it later this afternoon to the upper 20s. Alicia, I'm going to go grab some more coffee because I need it.
Oh, get us all some. Apparently, we all need a little more. Okay, looking at the map for you, it is all green, which is great. That is always great to see if you do have to get up early and head out the door this morning. No crashes to slow you down. I'll be keeping an eye on the map and have another update here in just a few minutes. Well, 6:01 is the time. We are following breaking news out of White Bear Lake, where a police officer was shot.
We learned that he is now out of surgery at Regents Hospital in St. Paul. That was just a few hours ago. Now, the shooting happened at an apartment in White Bear Lake near 694 on Carth Road while police were trying to make an arrest last night. Cece is live in St. Paul at Regents Hospital, where the officer is now recovering. And Cece, what do you know this morning?
Good morning. You're absolutely right. I can tell you that the officer was taken here to Regents and then immediately taken into surgery. We've been told that they are in stable condition as of 6 o'clock this morning. We can also tell you that the suspect who's involved in this shooting, they are in custody this morning. Now, still a few details here, but here's everything that we know so far about what happened just a few hours ago. So police tell us that this happened at about 10 o'clock last night. White Bear Lake police officers were trying to make an arrest. During that attempted arrest, shots were fired, and the officer who's here at Regents right now was shot. Now, police tell us that there is no longer a threat to the public since the suspect is in custody, but multiple law enforcement agencies had to respond to the shooting. Huge police presence. Now, over in White Bear Lake, the scene is mostly clear as of this morning, but our overnight crew did tell us that there was about 3 Metro Transit buses that had to come in and help shelter some of the residents who had to evacuate a nearby apartment building. But this morning, we are told that those residents are back in their apartment building. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to hear from a couple of those residents who are waiting outside after the evacuation and what they had to say about the incident. But for now, I'll send things back over to you, Alicia and Rena.
I'm sure it was a scary evening for them. All right. Thank you, Cece.
Well, right now, the Minnesota BCA needs your help finding a missing 10-year-old girl. Take a look at your screen. This is Aria Lewis. Investigators say she walked away from her St. Paul home near 7th Street and Tuscarora Avenue 5 days ago. She was wearing a beige jogging suit with patches on the sweatshirt and a black jacket. If you know anything, you're asked to call police right away. New this morning, a well-known actor with the Children's Theater Company is recovering after a fire started in their Stillwater home. We've learned Reed Sigmund, his wife and children, lost everything. According to this GoFundMe page set up by a family member, Reed was trapped upstairs and had to break out of a window and jump to safety. The page has already raised more than $25,000.
A 6th person is entering a guilty plea in the $250 million Feeding Our Future scheme. Liban Alshire admitted to submitting claims on behalf of Community Enhancement Services and Lake Street Kitchen to be reimbursed for feeding thousands of kids that were nearly all fraudulent. Court documents say these organizations claimed to feed roughly 870,000 children during the pandemic, but actually fed just a fraction of that. The documents say Alshire accepted about $750,000 in fraud claims from Feed Our Children, which he agreed to forfeit.
Well, an update to a story we brought you yesterday right here on Sunrise. A judge has ruled the historic Justice Ramsey Stone House cannot be destroyed, at least for now. Protesters staged an all-night vigil, frantically trying to get a judge to sign a temporary restraining order that would keep demolition crews from tearing down the oldest home in St. Paul. The property owner and city inspectors agreed that the building's condition made it a potential danger. St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter agreed and issued an order to take it down, but the demonstrators got a last-minute restraining order.
So when we lose a small structure like this, we lose so much of the narrative around the early working class people or the early people of color or just, anybody that wasn't the James J. Hill Mansion or the Alexander Ramsey House. We lose that narrative.
The house was built in 1852 and was home to former slaves. Local historians say it's worth saving because of its importance to the Black community. A court hearing on the temporary restraining order is set for tomorrow. This morning, we now know the full scope of Governor Walz's wish list for the state's next two-year budget.
And if it passes, it would be the single largest budget jump in state history. Jennifer is live at the Capitol right now, breaking all of it down for us this morning. Hi, Jennifer.
Yeah, hi, Rena, Alicia. And not only would this be the single largest budget jump in state history, it would also be the largest combined tax cuts in history. So what's in it? Well, the $65 billion budget represents an $11 billion jump from the current biennium. The plan proposes using almost all of the $17 billion surplus, with $11 billion going to spending and $5.5 billion going to tax cuts. It also features the governor's rebate check plan. You might remember it, called Walz checks. $1,000 for single filers who earn less than $75,000 a year, and $2,000 for households that make less than $150,000.
That might be the difference between housing for you, because it could be first and last month rent. It could be the things you need to do for your children. It could be a vacation if that's where you're at and your family needs that.
In a time that there is a record surplus, $17.6 billion, Minnesotans are expecting to have that back.
So Republicans have said, hey, this plan is just too expensive. Meanwhile, Republicans and some Democrats are taking issue with the governor's plan on Social Security taxes. While the governor wants to make more retirees exempt from paying income taxes on their Social Security, this group of lawmakers says, why not just make people exempt regardless of their income? Alicia and Rena.
All right, Jen, reporting live outside of the state capitol for us. Thanks for that report.
Well, two proposals also in that budget could further impact Minnesota families. Here's the breakdown of those and how they're connected.
Good morning, I'm Danny Spiewak. Now that the DFL has the so-called trifecta with control of the governor's office, House, and Senate in the state legislature, one of their big legislative priorities this session is paid family leave and paid medical leave. This bill that they are currently churning through committees right now would give up to 12 weeks of paid family leave and an additional 12 weeks of paid sick time. Now, many proponents of this have been pushing for this kind of measure for years here in the state of Minnesota, but there are some people who have concerns about it, including the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce, who calls it a, quote, one-size-fits-all approach that they worry will add more financial burdens to businesses.
This morning, new revelations about classified documents found at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence. NBC's Kristen Welker has the details from the White House.
Good morning to you. Coming up on Today, the controversy over classified material now spreading again, with former Vice President Mike Pence's legal team revealing a small number of classified documents were inadvertently taken to Pence's Indiana home after he left the vice presidency, according to a letter his legal team sent to the National Archives and obtained by NBC News. They say the former VP asked his team to conduct a search and was unaware he had the secret material in his home. The FBI taking possession of the documents 3 days after they were discovered. Pence's team says he's fully cooperating. Now, it comes after he was asked last year if he took classified documents after leaving the vice presidency, and he said he did not. There's now bipartisan criticism that a sitting president, a former president, and now a former vice president have all acknowledged having classified material in unsecured locations. Meanwhile, the firestorm over President Biden's handling of classified material is growing, with the possibility the FBI may search his beach house. Just this weekend, as you may recall, the FBI searching Mr. Biden's Wilmington, Delaware home, finding yet another batch of classified documents, the fourth discovery so far, including classified material dating back to his time in the Senate. That new discovery after a defiant Mr. Biden had insisted there was no there just a few days ago. The president again ignoring reporters' questions as he met with top congressional Democrats with the special counsel investigation, threatening to overshadow his agenda.
6:09, turning our attention now to the weather. It may be warmer than normal this morning. There's my brain and my mouth fighting again. Warmal this morning. But soon we're going to be wishing for these temperatures. At least that's what our friend Guy Brown says. Hi, Guy.
Hey, yeah, this weekend we're really going to feel the chill with Arctic air spilling southward, highs single digits, lows well below zero, and of course we're going to have that wind chill playing a factor. Right now, though, hey, we'll soak up the mild temps, warmer than average for this time of day. 24, clouds overhead, some light snow and flurries. Now, not everybody finding the flakes, but most of us are here in the Twin Cities Metro, including us right here in the KARE 11 backyard. A few snow showers today. We'll have periods of light snow. This will amount to about an inch or less throughout the daytime, and this will be off and on, but more widespread late morning into the early afternoon hours. Highs today climb to the upper 20s. We'll see that forecast high of 29. Tonight, we'll shut the flakes off, turn colder with lows in the single digits. So tomorrow morning, much colder. High temps make it to right around 16 degrees as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So Thursday looks colder. Friday, we'll see some AM snow showers, and that I think has the potential to really slow traffic down a lot more than, compared to this morning. I do think that's going to be another quick mover. It's still not going to be a big snow maker, but it doesn't take much snow to slow things down. And right now it looks like about 1 to 2 inches for your Friday morning drive. So coming up next, my 7-day forecast and in my full weather, I'll continue to dig into this light snow we're finding today, and it will also turn more widespread than what we're finding now. A quick band of snow will push through Thursday night into Friday morning, and temperatures turn cold this weekend, and it will last through much of next week. So that's going to be a long week coming if you are not a fan of the cold. All coming up in my 7-day forecast.
Yeah, sweatpants kind of weekend for this gal for sure. Okay, well, the biggest nominations in Hollywood are out now for the Oscars.
I'm rubbing off on you today.
I know.
Who could be adding some new hardware to their mantle and the history that could be made? Then 6:15, it's the AI technology that makes homework a lot easier, but it is raising some red flags on college campuses across the country.